Isolated from the rest of the world, Antarctica has become one of the most mysterious, beautiful and amazing continents on Earth. The huge mainland, hiding many secrets, attracts researchers from all over the world. What they managed to make a discovery, we will learn in the next 3 issues. At the southernmost point of the Earth, you will find Antarctica, a continent that is almost completely covered in ice. Unlike the Arctic, which is an ocean surrounded by land, Antarctica is an ice-covered land surrounded by the Southern Ocean. The area of the continent is about 14,100,000 square kilometers. It is the 5th largest continent, nearly twice the size of Australia and much larger than either Europe or the US. The continent is divided by the Transantarctic Mountains into East and West Antarctica. These mountains stretch across the entire continent, with a total length of 3,500 kilometers. East Antarctica makes up most of the continent. About 2/3 to the east is a high plateau covered with ice. The western part of Antarctica consists of a group of pure islands connected by ice. The highest point in Antarctica is the Vinson Massif, located in West Antarctica at an altitude of 4,987 meters. In East Antarctica, they found the lowest point on the Earth's continent, filled with ice. The canyon is under glaciers. Its depth is about 3.5 kilometers below sea level. Deeper than this, only the depressions of the oceans are inhabited. The Hamburg Mountains are located in East Antarctica. They are almost the same size as the European Alps. The mountain ranges stretch for 1,200 kilometers in length, and the highest known height is 3,390 meters. These mountains are covered with 600 meters of ice and are hidden from view. On this mainland, scientists have discovered more than 100 volcanoes, some of which are located on coastal islands. One of them is the active volcano Erebus, located on Ross Island. It is considered the southernmost volcano on Earth. The constant activity of the Erebus has been observed since 1972, when it crashed into a mountain. Hot gas escaped into steam, which cooled instantly and froze right in the air, forming strange-looking towers, the height of which reached more than 10 meters. Under Antarctica Minor, researchers from the University of Edinburgh have discovered 91 underwater volcanoes. There is not much information about minerals in this icy desert. However, it is known that under the thickness of snow and ice there are deposits of coal, iron ore, precious metals, granite, crystal, nickel and titanium. In 1973, huge reserves of oil were discovered in the Ross Sea, as well as deposits of natural gas. However, in 1990, the Protocol on Environmental Protection to the Antarctic Treaty prohibited any resource extraction in Antarctica until 2040. This allows you to preserve the nature of the continent in its original form. And the removal of such restrictions is fraught with serious consequences for the local ecology. Antarctica is the highest mountain continent in the world, the surface of which is covered with a powerful ice shield. This is the largest ice sheet on our planet, covering about 98% of the entire continent. The average ice thickness of the Antarctic shield, according to various researchers, ranges from 830 to 2,160 meters, and the maximum exceeds 4,700 meters. In East Antarctica, the ice sheet rests on continental rocks, whereas in the western part of the mainland it plunges more than 2,500 meters below sea level. The ice sheet is not entirely smooth. It is a space of moving ice. Moving glaciers create cracks that can be many hundreds of meters deep. The cracks are often covered with a thin layer of snow, which fools people into thinking the ice sheet is smooth and solid in Antarctica's icy blood. 90% of all ice on Earth, as well as about 70% of all fresh water in the world. Antarctic ice sheet. So heavy that the surface of the coldest continent on the planet sank under the weight of a mass of ice and snow by almost 500 meters. The Ross Glacier is by far the largest ice shelf in Antarctica. Its area is about 487,000 square kilometers, which is larger than the area of Germany. In 2000, an iceberg known as B-15 broke off the Ross Glacier. With a size of 11,000 square kilometers, it is the largest iceberg in the world. That's more than all of Jamaica. The researchers believe that if all of them are concentrated in Antarctica, the ice will completely melt. The sea level on our planet will rise by about 60 meters. As a result of such a cataclysm, many major cities are at risk of sinking, including London, New York, St. Petersburg, and Sydney. In addition, part of the coastal European countries, such as the Netherlands and Denmark, will also go underwater. Antarctica is the largest desert in the world. This is 1.5 times more than the Sahara. Why is Antarctica a desert? Moisture falling from the sky is used to classify a place as a desert. The annual rainfall is 50 millimeters. Even the Sahara receives more rainfall than Antarctica. This makes it the largest desert in the world. Although the continent is full of ice, one of the biggest threats is fire. The environment is very dry. Therefore, if a fire breaks out, it will be difficult to stop it. This icy continent has dry mac valleys. There has been no precipitation here for more than 2 million years. This is without snow valley with extremely low levels of humidity. The reason they are so dry is because the mountains surrounding the valley prevent glaciers from penetrating. The dry valleys contain the largest sand dune on the continent, at 70 meters high and over 200 meters wide. In the Wright Valley in Victoria, in the dry Poppy Valleys, the Onyx River flows, considered the longest river in Antarctica. Its approximate length is 30 kilometers. In the dry valleys of the Jerd Poppy, a bloody waterfall flows out of the Taylor Glacier. This color is due to the high content of iron oxide in the water. Also in the dry valleys of Poppy, honey is a salt lake of the species. It is so salty that the water in it remains liquid even at a temperature of 13 degrees. However, this water is under a thick layer of ice. The ice is covered with a liquid brine that is 7 times saltier than seawater and is 21 meters thick. The ice cap on Lake Vita is said to be the thickest non-glacial ice on Earth. Prevented the contact of air with salt water for many 1,000 years and gave scientists direct access to ancient DNA, turning the lake into a time capsule. More than 400 lakes were discovered under the ice of Antarctica near the Antarctic station of the same name. At a depth of 4 kilometers is Lake Vostok. This is the largest lake under glaciers in Antarctica. The estimated area of Lake Vostok is 15.51 thousand square kilometers, and the average depth is 432 meters. Scientists believe that, despite the complete absence of sunlight and the gigantic water pressure in the lake, approximately equal to 3/100 atmospheres, organisms endowed with truly unique properties can live in this reservoir. The technology of drilling and water sampling for research from a depth of more than 3 kilometers remains a serious technical challenge, especially with regard to obtaining clean samples that are not mixed with biological material introduced from outside. To date, in the course of many years of research on ice samples from the underwater Antarctic Lake Vostok, 4 new species of bacteria have been discovered. Scales of a real goldfish were also found. It turned out that it really was covered with a thin layer of precious metal. In general, the water in the lake can rightfully be called golden. The spectrum and analysis of ice samples taken from the lake showed that the content of gold ions in ice and water is almost 80%. Researchers are trying to improve the equipment to be able to take water directly from the bottom of the lake, where life is supposed to be more favorable than in the water column. Scientists believe that, most likely, Lake Vostok existed before the icing of the mainland, which means that the descendants of ancient organisms that lived there before isolation can be preserved in it. The object is also interesting from the point of view of cosmology, as it is a model of a reservoir. On other planets, there are satellites, where life could have originated under the ice. Therefore, Lake Vostok is under the close attention of researchers and is of great scientific importance for the whole world. Subscribe to the channel and like this video so you don't miss a new video. Be sure to write in the comments if you like this video and what else you would like to see.